Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Justin. My wife Lucy's at work today, she can't join us. And today's video, pardon the noise, I'm in the middle of the woods, it's all kicking off. Today's video is going to be about how to deal with the scrapyards. Yes, the scrapyards, and how to use the weighbridge and how to not get ripped off. Let's dive into it and let's see if we can make you some money. So you're a street scrapper or you're a tradesman, you've got loads of scrap to weigh in. Before you even go into the yard, I want you to separate your metals, okay? If you've got no non-ferrous metals, that's your aluminium and brass, we're just talking about light iron and shearing steel, okay? Light iron is washing machines, microwaves, tumble dryers, dishwashers, hoovers, lawnmowers, if I haven't already said that, little kettles, any bits like that, any bits of metal with plastic attached to it, okay? You're going to put that to one side in your van, and then on the other side you're going to put your shearing, which is your scaffolding poles, your radiators, any sheet metal from sheds, anything that's got is pure metal with no plastic on it, okay? You're going to separate the two before you even go in there. Right, you've separated the two metals, okay? You've separated your two metals, and now you're ready to go into the weighbridge and earn some money. What I want you to do is drive your truck onto the weighbridge. As you step off, have a look at what the weight is of your truck with your metal on before you go to reception. There should be a little digital display outside the office telling you the weight of your truck with all the scrap metal on with you out of it. Make a note of this. If you can't see this, there's a reason. And that reason is they might be trying to pull the wool over your eyes and say you've got 100 kilos less than what you've got on it. So when you go to the office and say, hello, how are you? Can I ask what the weight is, please? And see if you can see it for yourself on the computer that the receptionist is sat at. Okay, make a note of this weight before you go any further. Right, so you've got the weight, and then the question is coming. Do you know what that question is? What you got? You're like, what? Okay, what you got on today? What you got? You say, oh, I've got mixed metal, I've got shearing steel, and I've got light iron. I like to weigh it all in as mixed metal, 50-50, or you're going to weigh in your light iron separately, get another weight, weigh your shearing in separately, do that. I always used to do it as mixed metal, 50-50, okay? And they go, okay, go and weigh it in then. And you go over there, drive your truck around the other side where all the scrap metal is, make sure there's no nails or screws on the floor that are going to give you a puncture in your truck, because this will really ruin your day. Okay, so you've gone on the bridge, you've seen your metal, you've said it's 50-50 mixed steel, okay? Remember what you said and remember your weight as you went in to the scrapyard. Now, you've gone to weigh in your metal, you've checked there's no screws or nails on the floor in the unloading area because you don't want to get a puncture. Because if you get a puncture, that's money straight out of your profit. And let me tell you, the scrapyard isn't going to pay for it. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is get a puncture, so make sure the road's clear. Okay, empty your stuff off, and when you empty it off, I want you to empty it into two piles, okay? I want you to put all the light iron out to one side, and I want you to put all the shearing to another side. That way, when they check, and they will check, either by CCTV or a member of staff coming down to have a look at it, you made two distinct piles of your metal, and you can say it's 50-50. Just because the shearing pile looks smaller than the light iron pile doesn't mean it's lighter. It's solid metal, it's more condensed. So don't be fooled, okay? And don't get ripped off. Oh, I just had a dog jump on me. That's great. That's part of filming in the woods, guys. So you've separated your two piles, your shearing and your light iron. You've knocked any non-ferrous out of your light iron and you put it back on your truck. Put it in a pile back home and save it for another day. You're going to get more money. Right. Now you're going back on the bridge. Now this is the time to be strong. Don't be weak. This is your money, not their money. This is your money, okay? You've gone back on the bridge, and as soon as you got on the bridge, you step out of your truck and you're going to look at that magic number on the board and it's going to tell you what your truck weighs. Now this is the weight when all your scrap has been took off, okay? Make a note of this weight, and before you go to the reception, take away the second number from the first number, and this is your total weight you have. Keep a memory of that, and then when you go to speak to them at the reception, see what weight they say before they print out and pay you, okay? Before they print out and pay you. And then if the number's the same, they're honest, they're not trying to rip you off. If the number's different, okay, get them to check the figures again, because many times have they got it wrong. Not because they're trying to rip me off, just because they can't add up properly. Nothing personal, but they can't. Sometimes. Okay? And so always say, no, my weight was this and my weight was that. The amount of times I've nearly been bumped 200 kilos, 100 kilos, because people just can't add up because they're working too fast. Nothing personal against them. It's just human nature. So always check your weight. After you've checked your weight and you know the weight's right, what you're going to say to them is, okay, so that's mixed steel, yeah? And if they say, yes, that's mixed steel, get paid, happy days, you're on your way, jobs are good. But if they say, no, it's not mixed steel, it's only, let's say you had half a ton on, they're going to turn around and say, oh no, it's only 200 kilos of shearing and 300 light, which they can't tell. They're just trying to knock you down. The point of this is, if they can knock 100 kilos or 50 kilos off that to light iron instead of shearing, then they can bump that back up and make more money after the load you've just put in. Don't accept it. If you know it's 50-50 and everything else, argue your case, get someone to walk around there with you and say, look, this is what I've got, this is what I've got to do, and this is what you've got to do. If you're in a rush, you're going to get bumped. If you don't take the numbers and figure out what you had on yourself, you're going to get bumped. And if you don't separate your load when you load it up or when you unload it, you're going to get bumped. Don't get bumped. Right, let's say you're not happy. Let's say the scrapyard's not happy. And they say, no, you've got 200 kilos of light. No, you've got 200 kilos of shearing and 400 kilos of light. And you know you're getting ripped off. You are getting ripped off. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Just think about it for a second. What are you going to do? Most people are going to crumble and say, oh, okay, can I just get paid, please? And you get paid and walk off. Don't do it. They've got you over the barrel and they can do it every time you go to that scrapyard, okay? Not all scrapyards like this, some of them are. What you're going to do is, if you've argued the toss and you tried being fair and you said, no, I've got this amount of metal for that and this amount of metal for this, but they don't want to pay you and they're blatantly trying to knock you down, what I want you to do is get back in your truck and politely say to them, right, you're trying to rip me off, I'm loading my stuff up, I'm going to go to another scrapyard, I'm going to put all my stuff back on my truck and take it, because you are not going to get ripped off. Do not let them rip you off. Do not let them take the mick. You're the one that's worked hard for that metal. You've driven around for 5, 6, 7 hours to get that metal, only to be ripped off come the end of it. I don't think so. Not on my watch. Now, I've seen this happen at scrapyards. I've seen it kick off, right? People have gone in there and the boss of the scrapyards turned around and said, yeah, weigh that in, it's all shearing, yeah. And then they've let him weigh the stuff in, okay? They've let him weigh all the stuff in and he thinks he's getting paid shearing for the lot. And then the boss comes round, okay? Not all bosses are the same, but a lot are. The boss comes round and goes, nah, that's 50% light iron, nah, not having it. Nah, you're not weighing that in the stainless because it's got a little metal bolt on it. It's Irony Alley. They're trying to bump you down. They're trying to make more money for themselves, which means you're getting ripped off. Don't stand for it. I've seen people go back round there in their trucks screaming and yelling. Okay, they get banned from the site, but they're screaming and yelling. They don't want to be on the site anyway. They're getting ripped off. Okay, screaming and yelling, chucking their stuff back on, saying you're trying to rip me off, this, that and the other. It happens a lot more than you think. So be prepared to do this and be prepared to walk away and go to another scrapyard if you think you're getting ripped off. Well guys, just to summarise then, so when you go into the yard, if you've just got metal on and no non-ferrous, separate your loads, light iron one side, shearing the other, and do that when you unload it, okay? Don't take ages chucking your stuff out, because people are waiting and they're going to get annoyed. When you go on the bridge, take the number that you weigh when you go on the bridge, your weight, and take your weight when you go back on the bridge after you took the scrap. Argue the toss. If you don't believe in yourself and believe in your load, how is the scrapyard going to? And they're just going to take the mick all day. Don't let them do it, okay? Some scrapyards are really good and some are really bad. If you enjoyed this video, please share, like and subscribe. If you want to see how I did street scrapping, look back at some of my earlier videos, there's about 180 videos when I was scrapping, how to pick your scrap up, how to make the money, and how to make you rich, either as a side hustle or a full-time business. Take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.